Not sponsored, but I wish. Just Celsius getting me through Vlogmas. This is a new flavor for me, sparkling strawberry lemonade. Pretty good. Doesn't top tropical vibe, but pretty good. I didn't realize like how vampire-y I looked until I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and it looks like I have like I'm a dead corpse because of my pale lips and then my shirt. But we're just gonna roll with it today. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome to day 4 of Vlogmas. Today I have my second to last video in my makeup rehab series for the year of 2022. The next video will be my finale / wrap up, and I have to say I am personally like really proud of my makeup consumption this year in terms of like, well, compared to previous years, I feel like I've done a really good job of not buying and not bringing as many items into my collection. Obviously, I'm still a makeup lover and I purchased a lot of makeup this year. But compared to years past, I feel like I've done so much better, especially when I sat down to start creating like my favorites of the year and stuff and going through all of the products that I tried this year. I was like, I feel like I have so much less to go through this year than I have previously. So I'm super excited about that. I do have 8 empties to share with you today. I have been wearing my makeup more, obviously doing Vlogmas as well, like doing my makeup more, going to work, doing my makeup more. So I have 8 empties today, which I'm super excited about. I do have 4 eyeshadow palettes to share, and then I have 4 makeup products to share. If you are new to my makeup rehab series, it's like a beauty bank style challenge that I started doing last year and I had so much fun with it. I decided to do it again this year. So I started this year with a beauty bank of 30 makeup products, not including eyeshadow palettes, and I could only increase my makeup collection by 30 products this year. So if I purchased a product, my beauty bank went down by a beauty product. But if I emptied out or finished off a makeup product, not decluttered, declutters don't count, but if I actually emptied out, I'm also getting sick, which is just so great. But if I had a beauty empty, that counts as a +1 to my beauty bank. So let's say my beauty bank was at 30. I didn't purchase any makeup, but I had 2 empties. My beauty bank would increase by 2, putting me at 32 products. I hope this is all making sense. I will leave my playlist for the series down below in case you've missed any of the updates and want to catch up. I will also, oh, did I make a Vlogmas playlist yet? If I haven't, I'll make one and I'll put my Vlogmas playlist down below in case you're interested in checking out any of my other previous videos. But I will be posting every single day throughout the month of January at 3 p.m. So if you are not yet subscribed, I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, you guys, if you are new to the series, I do break this up into 4 separate sections. So if I've received any PR the previous month, I share that, and then I go into any palettes that I have purchased, because palettes I have a separate bank for. I gave myself, because I love eyeshadow palettes, love sharing eyeshadow palette content on my channel, I wanted to give myself like leeway with eyeshadow palettes. So I told myself I could bring in 3 eyeshadow palettes per month. I am allowing myself to roll eyeshadow palettes over. So if one month I only purchased 1, I can roll those 2 palettes over. So essentially that means I could bring in 36 eyeshadow palettes into my collection this year. So I do have a separate section where I share any eyeshadow palettes that I brought in, and then we talk about all of the beauty products that I purchased, and we end with our empties. So I don't have any PR that I have brought in this last month since the last update. My last update was probably like 2.5 weeks ago, so it hasn't been that long. But I do have 4 eyeshadow palettes that I have brought in to my makeup collection. So I'll share those with you right now. One of them is a palette that is currently on my eyes, and it is my Odin's Eye Christmas palette. I did actually purchase both the Christmas and the Christmas Eve. I originally was only going to purchase the Christmas Eve eyeshadow palette, but I want to say if I purchased both, I met the free shipping threshold. And then also I just love Odin's Eye's palettes. So at first I was like, okay, trying to like save money, let me decide on one. And I loved just the cool tones of the Christmas Eve palette. So this is the Christmas Eve palette. I thought that this was just something a little bit unique to my collection, and specifically I was excited about the like foiled and shimmer shades in here. So I for sure was gonna get the Christmas Eve palette, And then I was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on the Christmas palette. I saw so many beautiful swatch photos and I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna regret it if I don't purchase this palette because it is limited edition. And once it goes away, I won't be able to purchase it anymore. So I did decide to purchase this one as well. This is what's on my eyes today. Funnily enough, it's like a more, it's a darker blue green, which I feel like could have also, something similar could have come out of this palette. I have not yet played with the reds and pinks, but I do plan to take my makeup off and film again later today. And I really want to play around with, I'm like actually really excited about this like pink foiled shade. As always, with Oden's Eye Cosmetics, I've been super impressed with the formula, very happy with the palettes. I think Oden's Eye has possibly my favorite eyeshadow formula of like every eyeshadow I've ever tried in my lifetime. Like I'm talking like even like I personally feel like I like Oden's Eye better than like Natasha Denona. I'm like, what are some of my other top ones? Huda Beauty. So very happy with those. And then I also, you guys, I have so many holiday themed palettes, but I purchased the ColourPop Muppets palette as well. When this released, there was something just about the color story that just like made me feel happy. I just felt like it was kind of fun. Like you're getting like a good variety of colors, but to me when I looked at this, it was also like kind of wearable color, if you will, maybe colorful shades that didn't intimidate me like some like rainbow palettes do. And I didn't purchase this right away, but I was going back and forth and back and forth. And then I watched Angie's, I can't remember if it was, I think it was just her collection video on this where she did 2 looks with this eyeshadow palette. And I was instantly like, boom, on the site, have to purchase. Super excited about this. I haven't yet worn this or tried a look. This just came in the mail yesterday. So I haven't yet put this on the eyes, but even like these shades for just like a more neutral, beautiful, like I'm so excited. So excited to play around with that palette as well. Plus I just think like the packaging is super cute. Like it just makes me happy. And then the 4th eyeshadow palette, you guys, I did it. I repurchased the Tartelette In Bloom palette. This is my first time ever, I think, repurchasing an eyeshadow palette. So I decluttered this palette, gosh, 1 to 2 years ago because I originally purchased this palette. Ooh, it smells so good. I originally purchased this palette, I believe in 2015, and it was just getting old. I had used this palette so much. I had multiple pans in this palette, which Tarte eyeshadows, like it takes a valiant effort to hit pan. I had pan on like more than just like the matte crease shade, like or matte lid setting shade. I had pan on, I think, possibly all of the mattes going down. Regardless, I decluttered the palette and I would think about this palette at least once a week. I've recently started a new job and I just feel like this is like my perfect everyday office appropriate sort of palette as well. So I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna purchase this so that I always have like a comfort palette to fall back on days that maybe I got up a little late and I'm running late for work and I just want something easy. That's how I justified this repurchase to myself. I also just know this is a palette that will get so much use. Anytime I travel, this palette will come with me because it's just my comfort it was my comfort travel palette when I owned this, and I have no regrets. Tarte was on sale on the Ulta website for like 30 or 40% off for Cyber Monday. That's when I purchased this palette, and I'm honestly just like so excited to have this back in my collection. But I have officially repurchased the Tartelette In Bloom palette. So as of the last update, I had purchased 27 eyeshadow palettes so far in 2022. I purchased these 4 more, so I am sitting at 31 out of my 36 eyeshadow palettes for purchases in 2022. I do have 2 more eyeshadow palettes on their way. One of them, I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler. It's another repurchase / replace, but I did repurchase the Natasha Denona mini nude palette because mine is literally just destroyed. Like my packaging has broken, many of my shades have cracked because that is another comfort palette that goes with me traveling all the time, and it has just been through it. And they currently have a limited edition Natasha Denona mini nude where it comes with like a little brush with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm eventually going to replace this palette anyway. I may as well do it right now. I got 20% off because there's like a code right now on Sephora's website. I think it's Get Gifting, and you get 20% off now through like, it's like at least 10 days this is going on. So I repurchased that, and then I won't spoil the other palette that's on its way to me, but I am going to count that replacement palette as another as another palette purchased. So that would put me at, I'll be at 33 out of my 36. So technically 3 more palettes I could purchase this year without going over my goal. I don't know if I'm going to or not. Last update was pretty confident I wouldn't reach 36, but if there's some cute palettes or some fun color stories that release between now and the end of the year, well, maybe I'll hit that 36 threshold. But that is where we sit for my palette beauty bank. I am thinking I'll do probably the same for next year, but I would love your guys' feedback if you guys have any changes you want me to make or any like tweaks, fun ideas that you have for my makeup rehab series for next year. I am going to do this again next year. I want your feedback down below so that I can make it more fun, maybe interactive between like me and you. And I am thinking I'm going to lower my beauty bank to like 25 products. I started at 36 last year. This year I did 30, and I want to challenge myself even further. So I'm thinking 25 for next year, but I would love your guys' feedback. So leave all of your feedback for me in the comments down below. Now that I'm done rambling about that, let's move on to the 4 makeup products that I purchased. You guys are going to be disappointed in me. Disappointed maybe, but like, yeah, disappointed. Okay. So at the beginning of this year, I also set out with some other stipulations within this beauty buying challenge. I'll leave them posted on the screen. One of them was that I was on like I could only purchase 3 lip products until the spring Sephora VIB sale. And then I never really like updated this rule, but really I should be on a lip product no buy. Like I really need to focus on like my lip product spending and bringing lip products into my collection. I feel like this year there were many times I wanted to purchase lipsticks specifically, and I talked myself out of those. But when it comes to lip balms and lip oils and lip glosses, I have a serious problem. And that being said, we'll get into 3 of my 4 products that I purchased are lip products. I also gave myself a concealer bank, if you will. I only wanted to purchase 4 concealers this year. I did end up purchasing 4 concealers, and I met that threshold like middle of this year. I want to say like June or July. I have not purchased any more concealers, so I'm very confident that that will be a goal met, which I'm super happy about. And then I also gave myself like bronzer rules, as well as a couple updates ago, I added a few more rules. One of them being that I had to finish off 3 more foundations before I could purchase any more foundation. And another one being that any blush that I brought into my collection had to be very unique to like my blush collection. It couldn't just be like a nude or a coral blush shade. That being said, those were the additional rules. I didn't break my blush rule, but one of the 4 products that I purchased is a blush. And I did finally purchase the powder version of Persona Bubble. I also have the cream blush stick version, but this is like totally influenced by Kelly Gooch. She has raved about this blush so frequently throughout this year, and I've always had my eye on this blush. It looks super intimidating, but I truly do not have any other blush shades like this in my entire collection. The closest would probably be one of the blush shades in the new NARS cheek palette that I purchased, which I really have been enjoying. Like that is gonna make it into my 2022 favorites. But I decided to purchase the cream version thinking, okay, I have so many powder blushes in my collection. I should, if I'm gonna purchase a blush, it should be like a unique formula, if you will. And I like my cream blush, but it's also, when I'm using cream blushes, it's usually more in like the spring, summertime, whereas like a shade like this is a shade I think I'll reach for more in like the winter months. I also find that the cream blush stick shears out pretty significantly. You maybe could build it up. I haven't really tried to build it up too much, but it shears out pretty significantly. So I just wanted to try the powder blush version as well. And I was getting close to meeting like a point threshold on the Ulta website. So I decided to just purchase this. And I have no regrets about it. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't regret my purchase. I'm very excited about this. This is something that truly I've been thinking about purchasing for months now. And I put a lot of thought into the purchase, so I'm not mad about that. These next 2 products I purchased when I repurchased the Tarte lip palette, and this brand was on sale for like 30% off. Again, I was close to meeting some sort of threshold, and I know I'll get use out of these products. It's 2 Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oils, and what's funny is, so when Jaclyn So when Jaclyn Cosmetics originally released her lip oils in her summer collection last year, I purchased 3 out of the 4 of them, and I said like, this is like a fine lip oil, but I don't think it's worth 20 bucks. And I don't think I'll repurchase. And then here I am with 2 more. Now granted, I wouldn't have paid full price for these. These were, I wanna say they were like $14 because they were like 30 or 40% off. And they're 2 shades like I know I'll use. I definitely did not need these. I know I'll use them up though. Like I have confidence both of these will be 2023 empties, but this is what I'm talking about. Like I really feel like I need to be like honing in on lip products next year because I'll always make an excuse for a new lip oil. I think part of that is because I know I'll use it, but my lip collection it's a little out of control. And then the 4th and final beauty product that I purchased is another lip product, but I couldn't resist this. And again, this is a product I know I will use. It's from Glossier. It's one of their bomb.coms, and they came out with a limited edition Swiss Miss flavor, scent, whatever you want to call it, for the winter time. And I just like could not resist. It truly does smell like Christmas, or not Christmas, Swiss Miss, like hot chocolate. It smells like chocolate, and I also have no regrets about this. It is a little bit more like tinted. Like I actually will maybe just put this on top of my corpse lips right now so you can see. It does have like a brown tint to it, but I don't hate that. And it's nothing that like goes like way outside my lip lines and makes me look crazy. Like it's not something that I feel like I need a mirror to apply, if you will. And I love the Glossier bomb.com. I've gone through one in the past. It comes with so much product inside, and this is something that I feel like one can be like my car. No, I feel like this mixture is not good, but whatever. This is something I feel like can be like my car lip balm, or it can go in my nightstand and be like my at night lip balm, just because I feel like it is super moisturizing and very hydrating. I live in Minnesota, as I say so frequently. I sound like a broken record, but I have severely dry skin and severely dry lips pretty much all year round, but specifically in the winter time. So this is something that will get great use. But again, my lip product collection is a little embarrassing. I forgot to mention before I started talking about these beauty products that my beauty bank last update ended at 16 products within that bank. I told myself like I'm gonna lower that to like 10, and I mean I could, but I don't even feel like I need to. I don't think I'll end up purchasing any beauty products throughout December. I was thinking about, because you guys will find out in a minute, I have met my threshold of finishing 3 foundations. I was thinking about purchasing the House Labs foundation, but I actually feel motivated to finish off a few more foundations before bringing another one into my collection. So I don't know if that'll stick or not, but I don't foresee myself purchasing any more beauty products or makeup products within the month of December, aside from potentially eyeshadow palettes. So I don't feel the need to like go through the effort of changing my beauty bank, but I did again purchase 4 products, bringing my beauty bank down to 12 products before we go through my 8 empties. I will leave in the description box down below the prices of each product. I think it's important to discuss price because sometimes like you see people haul things and you're like, oh my gosh, like they have like 10,000 things that they just hauled, and you don't necessarily put a price to how much that they just spent on that entire haul. These 4 products, if I had paid full price for them, I would have spent a total of $74 on these makeup products this last month. Again, many of these things I did get on sale, but I do like to talk about full price just because who knows if these products are going to be on sale or not. So $74 spent this past month, putting me at a total of $1,467 spent throughout the whole year. Again, if I paid full price for everything that I purchased. This is not me to sit here and like brag about how much I've spent on makeup. In fact, more so like for me, it's like kind of embarrassing, but I do like to put the value out there just so it's not me hauling a bunch of things without like, I think it's important to show the cost sometimes. I don't know where I'm going with this thought, but anyway, we are gonna move on to all of my beauty empties next. Like I mentioned, I have 8 makeup empties, which I am just super excited about. I feel like the last like 2 weeks, it's been like every day I'm like, ooh, another makeup empty, ooh, 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 ooh. And it's none of these are mascara. So these are like exciting makeup empties in my opinion. We can start with maybe the least exciting. It's just this little like deluxe trial size of the Illamasqua Beyond Liquid Highlighter. So again, I do try and also tag a value onto the products that I'm using up. I just do, for little samples like this, I just do like $2 for every little sample of this. This was a very flashy, very intense, very strobing highlight. It was a really beautiful liquid highlighter, but a little bit too intense for me. Like I like something a little bit more subtle. And I also don't reach for liquid highlights all that frequently, and when I do, I have like my tried and true favorites. So this isn't something I'll be repurchasing, but I did finish that up. I also have a dried out liquid eyeliner. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Depending on where you get this and whether or not it's on sale, this retails for $10. I already have another one of these going. I think this is a phenomenal drugstore liquid liner. It's like super dark, and it lasted me a pretty good amount of time. I again like to store mine with the like pen tip facing down, but super excited about that. I have been dabbling a little bit more with trying to do wings more frequently. The Kaja wing stamp has been helping me with that significantly, but I also do like to tightline, so I use this quite a bit to tightline even if I'm not doing like a winged liner. I do like to tightline with a liquid liner. So finish that off. I have a brow product that I actually finished off this morning. This is the Fenty Brow MVP. This retails for $22, and this I'm very happy to have a brow empty. I really enjoy my Undone Beauty brow. It's like a duo. One side's a marker, the other side is a tinted brow, like fibrous brow gel. That's my favorite product, but it is nice to have like a pencil as opposed to a pen, I found, just to like trace underneath my brows and then to like start at this part. Like, what am I even saying? Anyway, I enjoyed this. This isn't something that like I will go out and repurchase just because I don't feel the need to purchase or to spend a lot of money on brow pencils like this. I do want to try the Benefit Gimme Brow. I feel like that's just like everybody's favorite, and I haven't, and that's again more expensive. I do want to try that at some point in time. I have a couple other brow pencils to get through before then, but excited to have gotten through this. So this also has a very interesting like brush at the other end, which I actually personally kind of enjoyed. So I just thought I would throw that out there. If I didn't mention, this retail value of this is $22. I did finish up my Pixi Glow Mist as well. This retails for $15. This is a good drugstore option for a glow mist, but this is a product that if you spray like one spray too many, you're gonna like go from like beautifully glowing to like a greasy disaster. It happens very quickly. I have a couple other glowy mists currently that I am working my way through, but this is like my third or fourth bottle of the glow mist that I have gone through. And if I were to finish off the rest of the glowy mists in my collection, pending if there was a less expensive, like if there's a drugstore glowy mist that I'm interested in trying at the time, then I'll purchase that. But I could see myself purchasing this again in the future. It's just not something I need to go out, run like right now and go replace. So speaking of having a problem with lip products, I did finish off 2 lip glosses, which I am very excited about. The first one being the Bite Beauty Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Guava Puff. I'm very excited that this is finally an empty. This is something I feel like I've slowly been working on all year. This was in my car for a while. My car was in the shop for like 2 months because I was waiting on parts, and this was in my car for those 2 months, and I forgot that it was in my car. So I thought I had lost this, and I was like 3/4 of the way through it at that point in time, and I was so mad because I was like, I was gonna make that an empty. And then I got my car back, and slowly I finished this off throughout the rest of the year. Obviously Bite Beauty isn't a brand anymore, so you can't get this anymore, so I'm excited that I finished this off. And also Bite Beauty is a brand where their products are like, you could eat them if you like, they're food grade, I think is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like they have the potential to go bad more quickly than others. That may just be an assumption that I'm making, but I'm excited that I finished this off before it actually expired. And then I also finished off my Patrick Ta lip gloss in the shade Is She Younger Than Me. I took the stopper out of this. There's like maybe like a little bit of product coating the walls on this still, but I actually really enjoyed this lip gloss. It was one of the older lip glosses in my collection, so I'm happy that this is an empty. It's exciting to get through some of those older products and finish them before they expire. It's another reason I need to stop bringing so much makeup into my collection so that I can finish off my older products rather than getting excited about these new products and only using those. I will say that this formula is a little bit sticky, not uncomfortable, but it's just like not my favorite lip gloss formula. I did really enjoy the shade, but I don't think I'll repurchase simply because the formula just isn't my absolute favorite. This retail value is, I believe, $22. And then I forgot to say the Bite Beauty, when you could get this, was $24. And then to wrap it up, the final two products that are empties are two more foundations. So last update, I shared with you guys that I had finished off my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, and that was the first foundation that I had finished after giving myself a goal of finishing 3 foundations, and I'm very excited to have finished off 2 more. I have like 1 or 2 more foundations that like are getting close and maybe could be empties by the end of the year, which would be exciting, but I'm just excited to finish off some foundations because foundation is another category that was starting to feel very overwhelming to me. I had so much foundation and I didn't want stuff to go bad. So I finished off the Tarte C Hydra Flex foundation. This, I don't even want to say enjoyed. Like, this was fine. It was not a favorite for me. And this is a foundation really that I mixed with other foundations typically. It was really thin, so it did make for a good mixing foundation, but I just didn't love this on its own. So I'm very excited that I was able to finish that up, and retail value of this was $39. And then I also finished up my Dior Forever Skin Glow, which is a little bit bittersweet because I know that they have reformulated. The retail value of this is $54. I have like scraped everything I can, by the way. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but there is like literally no product left in this. This I had been working on all year in my whole collection project pan. It is a favorite foundation within my collection, and I'm sad to see this go, but also this was one of my older foundations in my collection, so it's good that I finished this off, didn't let it go bad. It was a favorite. I loved my makeup every single time that I used this foundation. It's just crazy to think that this is finally an empty. I have gone through a Dior Forever, the original, and finished that off, and now I've gone through the Dior Forever Skin Glow. I do have another Dior Forever regular in my collection, and I am thinking, ooh, should I purchase it when it's still 20% off? I was gonna say I am wanting to buy the like new reformulated version to see if I like it, but I don't think I'll purchase it. I think I'm gonna try and finish off some other foundations. I'm in my head wanting to like be on a no buy like the rest of December except for eyeshadow palette. I would like to challenge myself not to purchase any makeup in January and just get like a good kickstart going on like using what's already in my collection in January and then seeing where next year takes us, but those are just things on my mind. Anyway, as I stated, my beauty bank was down to 12 after the 4 products that I purchased last month. With adding in these 8 beauty empties, that brings my beauty bank back up to 20 products. There is no chance I'm gonna be purchasing 20 products these next like 3.5, 4 weeks of December. So I am just feeling so good about my makeup rehab series. I'm excited for the finale and just to kind of like look back and celebrate some of the wins and also assess some areas that I can improve or maybe challenge myself more in 2023. But overall, just super excited about this series in general and also for starting this series again next year. Again, I would love your guys' feedback in the comments below. What tweaks do you guys want to see me make to this project? But other than that, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch, for supporting me, and for supporting Vlogmas. I appreciate it so much, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye.